is your host, Alicia from Better My Blueprint podcast. It is the podcast that will help you with your inner self so that your outer self can shine. I am super, super excited to talk to you guys about this episode and this topic. Today's topic today, if you aren't aware, is being obsessed with the 4Fs in 2025. Before we get into it, welcome to 2025. You're finally here. You can unclench your jaw. You can finally relax, finally take your shoes off, put your feet up, and basically just say, wow, I made it. Because not everybody saw 2025. Not everybody was able to be there for that countdown, where you do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year's. Not everybody can say that. So just first and foremost, take a breath, a breath of relief at the fact that you made it. We made it. We're here. We made it. Like, we're here. Okay. So welcome to 2025. Happy New Year's for all of you. I hope that you guys enjoyed your holidays with your family or friends, or even if you're just by yourself chilling, don't really, have the funds to go see family. I just hope that you were able to still enjoy your alone time or yourself in general, and spend time with God, spend time with yourself and your family, friends, neighbors, whoever. I saw a lot of people on their stories are in church. So I hope that you guys had a great service. I hope that everything worked out for you to finally take the next step into 2025. Of course, before we get into the topic and everything, I know that everybody's asking questions about TikTok and how it is going to be banned on the 19th of January because Biden signed the legal law to have it banned in the US. And I'm still hoping and praying that some way, somehow, even though I have my own beliefs about the current president right now, I just hope that some way, somehow, somebody in office with authority and power can save TikTok, because TikTok is a great source for Black-owned businesses, for small businesses, for people who don't have the platform to get it out there. They have that platform. And that's why I am hoping that we can find someone that's doing a petition or something to keep TikTok. But if TikTok is not going to be a part of US's social media platforms, then we won't be able to do TikTok for Better My Blueprint, which is okay because there's other apps. There's Instagram. I can always make a side channel on YouTube. So all is well. It's not the end of the world if we end up not doing it, but hopefully we can. Hopefully they save it and we can finally do TikTok and show you guys like the behind the scenes. But no matter what, we're going to give you guys that content. It's just going to take a little bit longer than expected. Okay. Another thing, just keeping you guys updated on my life. Everything's been going very well. God has been an amazing ruler, amazing father, just all around the best, especially for me. I'm already starting 2025 with glow and happiness and good news and stuff. And so I just want to thank everybody who's been praying for me, that I've been asking to pray for me when they go and pray in their secret place. And I just want to thank God, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to do this podcast. I wouldn't be able to have the amount of followers or subscribers or downloaders to watch me and hear what I got to say. And even though it's not exactly where I want as of my goal for how many people I want to subscribe and follow, download, everything like that, I'm just grateful that I still have a certain type of platform, even if it's a small one, to get the word out or to get, my knowledge and share with others. So I just want to thank everybody who's following. If you aren't following right now, or someone who isn't, who's interested in knowing more about Better My Blueprint, please have them follow us on Instagram. They can still follow us on Spotify, because we still have Spotify, which is great. I hope they never remove Spotify, because that would be detrimental. And then, of course, I said Instagram, YouTube, and then Spotify. Please follow us on there at Better My Blueprint Podcast or Better My Blueprint. And yeah, let's just get into the topic for today, because it's a long one. And I think it's just very important for us to start off with these 4Fs. Because once you get obsessed with these 4Fs, and of course, having God center all of it, and I think that you can have a very successful 2025 and so forth. So the 4Fs that I want you to be obsessed with for 2025, and that I'm going to be obsessed with for 2025, it's faith, fitness, family, and finance. A lot of CEOs, especially on LinkedIn and like certain articles and things like that, and a lot of like big time billionaires follow this 4Fs like thing. They try their best to master the faith. They try their best to master fitness, family, as well as finance. And I feel like those 4 F's are very, very important, as well as centering God around all of that, to have a more successful year. So the first one we're going to go by, and I feel like it's very important to master, very important to, gain knowledge from. And you can get a lot of this information that I'm giving you either from the Bible or from Google or from like a database or like a scholar database that you get like from school and things like that. A lot of information I got for this topic is from the Bible, as well as from my own personal research through databases and books and people's opinions as well. So I am not a professional. If you're looking for a professional to give you a better insight of this topic, definitely go on LinkedIn. There's a whole bunch of CEOs, COOs, whole bunch of billionaires on social media who talks about this topic. So, topic today, being obsessed with the 4 F's in 2025. First one is going to be faith. Faith is very important. If you don't have faith, then nothing else is going to work. Faith in God that things are going to work out in the end. That's going to be your number one that you need to master. You need to educate yourself on. You need to read on. Like, faith is very important. The definition, of course, I always got to give you a definition because we're all learning together, So the definition of faith, and I got this from the Bible, is the assurance of all things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. I was going to go on Google and look up a definition, but faith comes from God. And so who's better to tell me what faith is than God in the Bible? Like, why would I go to Google and look at Cindy or Billy's definition or Urban Dictionary or Wikipedia on faith? Like, no, I want to go from the source. So it says the assurance of things hoped for and the convictions of things not seen. Faith pertains to trust, confidence, transparency, non-persuasion. It's basically having trust that things are going to work out for your good. It's being honest with yourself and being honest with the higher power, which is God, that no matter how it looks, no matter what it looks like, no matter what's going on in your life, it will work out for you. It will work out for you. You will get that job. You will have higher income. You will get that promotion. You will get that deal for that car, or you will get that car, or you will get that money that you've been working so hard, or get that money that was stolen from you. You will get it back, or you will get pregnant, or you will be married. You will be a Mrs. or a Mr. and things will just work out for you. But you have to have faith in God that it will work out. I did an episode a couple episodes back about having faith as big as a mustard seed. God does not expect you to 100% believe that everything is going to work out. He does not expect you to be delusional, because sometimes trials and tribulations come. But he said that if you can have faith as big as a mustard seed, and like I said, go back to that episode that shows you how big a mustard seed is. If you can have faith as big as a mustard seed to believe that things will work out for your good, work out for your family, work out for your finance, work out for your health, work out for, you doing content creating or whatever it is, then it will work out. It says here that, most importantly, it pertains to believing in God's plan and his word. Believing that what he says in the Bible is going to happen is going to happen. Believing that whatever plan and will he has for you, that he has brought to your attention, will work out for you in the end, regardless of how bad it may look. Okay, so in the Bible, Jesus says that have faith in God. This is what will be done for someone who doesn't doubt, but believe what God says will happen. He says, he can say to this mountain, be uprooted and thrown into the sea, and it will happen and be done for him. So basically what Jesus was saying is that having faith is believing that you can say something will happen and it will happen. A lot of people, especially women, say manifesting that this will happen. This is my year. Yes, I'm going to lose 60 pounds. Yes, I am going to lose 12 pounds. I am going to be the next millionaire in my family. I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family. I'm going to be the first to graduate in my family. I am going to break family curses and generational curses. I will be wealthy. I will be successful. It's all about your mouth and what you say out of it, because words hold way more weight than you think it does. And it's way stronger than you think. If you have faith and speak out your mouth that this is going to work out for you, then it has no choice. There's nothing that can intervene. There's nothing that can get in the way of you being successful, you being your best version of yourself. Having faith that God is going to write that plan for you, write that blueprint, give it to you, and he has faith in you that you, with your faith in him, is going to follow through. Okay? So Having faith is the first thing you need to master with the 4 F's for 2025. Next is fitness. Of course, a lot of people don't like to hear about fitness because, no one wants to exercise for real, for real. I mean, there are some gym junkies, but a lot of that is internally and them trying to hide away from feelings and emotions. But we don't have to get into that. That's another episode for another day. But anyway, fitness. Fitness is the second thing that you need to basically do your best in, master, and focus on after your faith. The definition of fitness is a state of health and well-being that allows a person to perform daily activities with optimal strength, endurance, and performance. Emphasis on strength, endurance, and performance, okay? Achieving fitness is by exercising, having proper nutrition, sufficient rest. I'm going to say it again, sufficient rest, recovering plan. So, when achieving your fitness, of course, first and foremost, when you hear fitness, you think of exercising. You think of getting the full amount of exercise that your body needs to keep your body moving. Now, I know there's some people out there that thinks, I have an Apple Watch or a smartwatch or some type of watch that helps you to jot down how many times you've been walking and the calories you're burning and all that stuff. And people think if I just move around from back and forth in my office, or say if I just go walk down the street and walk back home, that's all the fitness I need. I'm not going to be that person that sits here and tell you that, because I wouldn't want someone to tell me that, because that's not accurate, I'm going to say. Yes, walking and moving your body is good, especially for elderlies. All you need is for them to do a couple of moves, a little bit of movement to get their body going, because their bones is a little bit older, a little bit more rustier, not as flexible as ours. But regardless, fitness, exercising is very important. Doing lifting weights, doing cardio, doing strength training, which is great for women with PCOS. Doing strength training and cardio is going to be your two best friends. For men who want to gain weight, a lot of strength training, a lot of deadlifting, and of course, the food is a really big part of that as well. But exercising is important. Taking care of your health. I don't care if you never get sick. I don't care if you just was blessed in your genes to have the muscles, to have the height, to have the build. No matter what, you still have to exercise your body, because you can lose that. I am a perfect representation that when I was younger, a little side story, I used to think that I was going to be skinny forever. I was like, excuse me, do you see this body? I'm going to be skinny forever. I don't need to exercise. I can eat all the food I want. My metabolism is so fast. I can be 30 and I'm still going to look like I'm 15 years old. God humbled me real quick and was like, oh yeah? Okay, continue eating those hot chips, hot fries, pickle eggs and honey buns and fried food. Go ahead, keep doing it. I'm going to show you better than I tell you that you need to take care of your body. And that's exactly what he did. Now I'm suffering from PCOS and my insulin is high. My cortisol levels is high, which is why I have this big round moon face, and I'm trying to lose weight as we speak. And I am 26 years old, on to 30. So I am here to tell you, no matter how old you are, no matter how good your genes are, no matter how you look back then, it can all change in months. It can change in weeks. In my situation, it changed in years. But still, you can gain that weight, or you can lose that weight. You just have to push yourself by exercising. The other thing is having a proper nutrition. Now, there's a lot of people out there that does not have discipline. There's a lot of people out there that do not have discipline in what they put in their mouth. So I am very good at needing a sweet treat, needing, some fried food. Being here in Dallas, I am obsessed with Mexican food, because that's one of the best food they have out here. I'm a sucker for a good birria taco. If you follow me on any social medias, you know that I love to throw down when I am cooking, and I just love some good food. Okay, I'm a foodie at heart, not gluttony, but just still on the verge of drooling when I see a good steak. Okay, so, but depending on your body type, depending on your blood type, depending on what health issues you might be dealing with or could deal with, or depending on your family's history, because a lot of people be thinking, oh yeah, my mom and dad, they had diabetes, doesn't mean I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm going to have diabetes. And that's not always the case. Thankfully, in my situation, my dad's side of the family does suffer from diabetes. My mom's side of the family suffers from diabetes and cancer. thankfully, with the grace of God, and I hope that He continues to shed this favor on me, I don't have to deal with none of that. I don't have diabetes. I don't have cancer. I don't have any of that stuff. Thank you, Jesus. I am forever grateful. But that doesn't mean that I cannot get it. It's possible for me to be diabetic. It's possible for me to have cancer. It's possible for me to deal with different health issues, i.e., I have PCOS, which is explained in the last episode of season 1. And so, eating the right food and eating the certain food based on your body type is going to be your best friend when it comes to keeping your fitness, up to date, keeping your health well. Instead of going to the doctor 4 or 5 times a year, you only go twice a year, which is your annual or your quarterly, checkup, just to make sure everything's good. Like, everybody wants to just go to the doctor twice and that's it. But unfortunately, a lot of people, especially in my generation and even the generation before, like my brother's generations, like, they're going to the doctor more than their parents are going to the doctor. And it's because we eat like crap. We ingest in things that we know is not good for us, but we do it anyway because of gluttony and because we're fat and because, we only live once. Everybody have that mindset, oh, you only live once, so like, why not enjoy it? Like, no. It's going to be hard for you to enjoy life if you don't have much of a life to enjoy, okay? I'd rather live my life, a long life, eating food that might not catch my eye at first, but I live to the age of 90 and above and have skin that looks like I'm 20 something when I'm really 60. Like, I'd rather live that life than living a short life where I might make it to 35, but died of diabetes, had to cut off one leg and a toe because I wanted to eat chips and big back food all year long, every year. So having a proper nutrition, if you have PCOS or you deal with cysts, stop eating dairy as much and taking in more fiber, taking in more lean meats, and a lot of leafy vegetables. People be thinking, oh, vegetables, okay, broccoli, no, lettuce, kale, spinach, like things like that, ingesting in that. I love, like, when I need a drink and I want juice, I try my best not to drink juice or soda because it definitely boosts up my doggone cortisol levels, which is not good for women who have PCOS or who are trying to have kids. But a good naked drink and I'm good. Like, I don't need no sweet treat. Like, this has so much different blends of like fruits and vegetables mixed together. Like, this one I have, it comes with apples, mangoes, bananas, kiwis, blueberries, and red beets, which is the best thing that you can drink if you want a juice but you want it to be healthy. Or you could be like my cousin. She is a herbalist. She just loves all things natural, clean, and earthy, and so she makes her own stuff by scratch. She sits there and scrapes off the ginger and cuts off the ginger and put it in her food or in her drinks, and the spinach and the turmeric and all that other stuff. And maybe that's something you need to do. Maybe you need to invest in a juicer to make your life a little bit easier, and start making smoothie drinks where you incorporate like vegetables and fruit so that you can get your leafy greens in and get your vegetables in, especially if you're not a big vegetable person. But all in all, having proper nutrition is going to be your best friend. I promise you. Even if all you do is walk a mile or two because you don't believe in going to the gym, try your best to eat right, intake the right things, and not only proper nutrition, but vitamins. My generation is stuck in the mentality, even though we grew up eating the little chewy Flintstones vitamins, but I don't know what made us change our mind when we got older, thinking we don't need vitamins. We all need vitamins. Of course, some vitamins are better than others, but I mean, we all need vitamins. We all need that extra nutrients that our body doesn't get from this fake freaking FDA approved GMO infested food that we eat. Okay, so if you're not a farmer, or if you're not growing herbs and vegetables and fruits out of your backyard, eating that and having your own cattle where you the one who slaughter your meat, if that's not you, then you need to make sure that you are intaking the right nutrients when it comes to food, when it comes to your drinks, and when it comes to vitamins, because they're not feeding us what you think they're feeding you. So to at least be one step ahead of them with not being at the hospital every freaking month, proper nutrition, okay? And this is me speaking to myself because I literally just ate a whole bunch of food, like a big platter of food from this place called Chris and John's. And yes, I'm gonna go back, but am I gonna eat that much food again? No. Am I gonna get something maybe just a little bit more healthier than what I got? Yes. But like, it's discipline. You have to have discipline when it comes to fitness. Next is sufficient rest. The reason why I said that twice earlier, because a lot of us thinking that vamping, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. It used to be a thing when I was little, but maybe it's not cool anymore. But vamping or staying up all night, people think that's cool. People think, and people as in old me, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old me, thought that that was cool. Like, yeah, let's stay up all night and make our body burn way more energy being up than being asleep and getting rest. Why did we think that that was okay? Why did we think being on FaceTime with our little boo things when we were in high school and middle school all night long was okay? Why did we think that that was okay? Our body needs rest. And if we don't rest, our body's going to sit us down, make us rest. And sometimes it's permanently. Sorry to tell you. So getting rest, sleeping, and making sure that you sleep at least 8 to 9 hours plus is going to be your number one fan. If you know that you get up like you do overnight, then you should be sleeping during the day. And I understand you're missing the majority of your day. But hey, sometimes that's the risk that you have to take if you decide to work at a job where you're working overnight. If you know that you got to get up at 5 p.m. because you work at 8 and so on, then you need to at least get 8 hours of sleep during the day. And then maybe you have a good couple of hours to do what you need to do, enjoy the day, go get you a little coffee, whatever the case is. But you need to rest. You need to sleep. And this is going to be for my busybodies, especially my men who thinks that working until you break your back is the best thing to do because it just makes you more of a man. I just want to sit here and tell you that sometimes hustling ain't what you think it is. And sometimes it's not cute. I salute every person, not just men, but women included, that go out there and get that bag. But working yourself literally to death is not the answer. And that's a part of your fitness and health journey. You want to know why you have acne all over your face? You want to know why you can't get rid of that gut? You want to know why your back is big? You want to know why your mental health is not okay? You want to know why your hygiene sucks? Little do you know, a lot of that goes into sleeping, getting your rest, shutting your eyes for a little bit, laying down, putting your body to the bed, body to bed. Like a lot of people don't think that that stuff is connected, but it really is, and you could do your own research. So please get enough rest, okay? Next, but definitely not least, is recovery plan. When I go to the gym, my body be hurting. And you know what I do? I go take a shower and I go right back into bed. And I know you're probably sitting here thinking, but Alicia, like, isn't that what you're supposed to do? You just said rest. Yes, I did just say rest. But you need to come up with a recovery plan. You should not be butchering your body in the gym and then coming home, taking a cold shower, and then getting in the bed. No, honey, you need to come up with a plan for stretching or doing yoga or something to help your body relax from all that butchering you were doing in the gym. Especially you guys who do the deadlifts and be breaking your back, throwing the dang dumbbells in the gym. I hate when they be doing it. It gets on my nerves. But doing all that extra stuff to butcher your body and basically kill your body to look good. You need to come up with a recovery plan, especially for those who are athletes, especially those who like to play ball, especially guys. I know my boyfriend loves to play ball, but for some reason when he goes in the gym, he's always end up hurting his back or his knee or his leg or something just hurts. And then he's wondering why, maybe he didn't win that last game with his homeboys. Who knows? I don't know. This is just an example based off true stories. So coming up with a recovery plan, like me, I ripped my meniscus, which means that I need to come up with a recovery plan for when I do decide to go to the gym and exercise and butcher my body. I'm not going to walk into the freaking, gym and not have a knee brace. I'm not going to walk in there, butcher my body, come home and go running or go do something crazy, knowing that my knee is already at ends with, like, it can't hold me and help me to stand for much longer. So I need to come up with a recovery plan. I need to come up with, the proper vitamins I need to take to help my bone strength for my meniscus. I need to come up with, like, maybe I need to go to the spa every couple of months, just to, go in the sauna, sit in an ice bath, whatever it is. Come up with a plan so that your whole body is not breaking down on you after just one day in the gym. Okay, so that's with fitness. Also, a lot of people don't be thinking that a lot of these topics are talked about in the Bible, but it is. So the Bible says, 1 Timothy 4, verse 8, physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and in the life to come. So it does talk about exercising. Like, yes, exercising is good, but also doing physical, or also doing training to, you know, meet God's expectations is also very important. So all of you gym rats who like to be in the gym all day, like, take a rest day. Take a day to not only exercise your body, but exercise your mind. Do some reading. Do something else outside of the gym. Not only that, but the goal of exercise should be to improve your physical health. Yes, very important. But it also is to improve your physical health so that more energy can be devoted into your spiritual goals. Because not only are we trying to fight a physical battle with our life, our health, and all that stuff, but there's a spiritual battle on the other side of the end that we need to focus on. If you guys ever watched Stranger Things, and I know that this is a crazy show to kind of tie in what I'm saying, but in the show there is a regular reality side where we all live in, and then there is a spiritual side. Unfortunately, the spiritual side looks like hell, but there is a spiritual side of life. And just like you trying to make sure that your arms are buff and ready to protect those you love, you need to also strengthen and exercise your spiritual body so that you can protect yourself from demons and spirits that want to attack your body. Because a lot of people be wondering, why am I always sick? Why am I always this? Why is this never working out for me? Have you checked on and made sure that your health and your spiritual body is good? Like, did you check to make sure that, did you go to the doctor, which is God, to make sure that your spiritual body is healthy and alive? No, you did not. And that's why all these demons can attach to you. That's why all these doggone things that are happening to you keeps happening to you. So, in the Bible it does talk about exercise. Exercising is good. They do not like people who fold up the arms, which means lazy people. They don't like couch potatoes in the Bible. But also exercising your spiritual body is very important as well. Next is family. The definition, even though it's self-explanatory, but the definition of family, the Bible defines family as a group of people who are related by birth, marriage, or adoption. This passage teaches that God created the first two humans in the image of God, and that his purpose was to expand his family. So with family, it's also a place representing love, community, discipline, instructions, and forgiveness. Now, I know in the Bible it says that we're supposed to expand, and I'm a advocate for, pop some babies out. I want everybody to have babies because I love to be an auntie. But it basically talks about being connected. It talks about us being one. It talks about, I am your mom, I'm your sister, but not only by birth. It talks about it through marriage as well. So when you marry into a family, that becomes your family, that God says that you're responsible for, and they're responsible for you, as well as adoption. Like, I was adopted. Thankfully, I mean, not to say thankfully, because I don't want to bag on anybody who is not my family, but I got adopted from my birth brother, which is a blessing in itself, because the adoption system can be a little skimpy. But I got adopted from my brother and his wife. And his wife's family ended up being my family through marriage. But they're my family, and their kids is my family through adoption, but also through birth, which is crazy, and a full circle moment for me. I didn't realize that. But anyway, it talks about family being a place representing love. So loving even when it's hard, loving even when it's tough, loving even when someone is not lovable. It talks about community, and also just, connecting with your family, not being that person who, you were there with your family when you had to because you were too young and you were a minor, and then once you graduated, you never see your family again because one person hurt your feelings. Like, it's a community. Community is considered, a group of individuals who stay connected. Not only that, discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to deal with family. It takes a lot of discipline to provide for family. So having discipline is what's going to help you master the family part of the F's. And then, of course, forgiveness. Forgiving people because you don't want to continue to be hurt. When you forgive someone, you don't forgive for them, you forgive for you. And I know you hear that a lot, but that's true. Because honestly, forgiving is saying, I'm not going to continue letting what you did in the past stop me from continuing my life, stop me from being happy, stop me from enjoying myself. And this is a lesson for myself because I have a cousin that does things that she shouldn't have and say things that she shouldn't have. And she doesn't understand how it affects me. And because I don't want to communicate that with her, and because I'm stuck in my ways and prideful and I need to work on that, I don't talk to her no more. I cut her off. And it shouldn't be that way because we're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to love each other. We're supposed to forgive each other. Yes, I'm getting around to forgiving her because we all make mistakes. We all do dumb things. We all hurt people really, really bad. And if we deserve forgiveness, why don't the people who hurt us deserve it? But I don't know. That's just something that we have to work on. I see a lot of people not close with their family because of things that have happened. And I don't want to say too much without crying because I am currently going through this with my birth family, like my birth family, like my mother's side, my real mother's side of the family. But having love for them, trying your best to create a community, but not forcing it, having discipline, and, forgiving those who hurt you because, it's life. We're all going to make mistakes. But however, we are not just focusing on the family we marry into, that we are created from, or that we create, but we also should help bond, communicate, network, and love our spiritual family. That may be a pastor, a church community, a mentor or a mentee, a close friend who is grieving, a neighbor, a teacher, etc. So if you know somebody who, say you are a mentee and you have a mentor, treating them with love, treating them with forgiveness, treating them with community. If you have a teacher that has, that's the only teacher that ever believed in you. You finally graduated from high school and that's the only teacher that ever believed in you. Coming back after you graduate just to give them their flowers, either physically or just giving them flowers through verbal communication, and just saying thank you for believing in me. Thank you. Because of you, I can continue to pursue my career. I can continue to pursue this or pursue that. Like, giving those people their flowers because they are a part of your family too. They are a part of your spiritual family. God put them in your life not to be related to you, but God put them in your life to invest in you and love you and care for you. So those people, if you could think of anybody right now, and actually comment below if you're watching on YouTube, comment below someone that you consider family that's not necessarily family by birth, adoption, or marriage, that you want to talk with more and interact with more and bring back into your life. I had a teacher who, her name was Miss Havens, and she was literally, everyone loved her, and she was the best teacher ever. Honestly, I don't care if anybody else take this offensive, but she was my favorite teacher out of all the teachers. She was just caring and loving and understanding, and she kept it real. Okay, don't let it fool you. She was gonna keep it real, but she was a sweet teacher. She believed in all of us, and even the kids in the class who didn't try at all, she still stuck her neck out for them. And that was my favorite teacher. And I used to talk to her a lot after I graduated, but then I kind of lost connection. But I do plan on reaching back out to her to see how she's doing, to give her flowers, because she is a part of my family. Regardless if we talk every day or at all, that God put her in my life for a reason. And it was to invest in me and help me to continue, where I am now, with graduate with my bachelor's and everything. So, some examples: joining Big Brother, Big Sister, especially if you're in high school and you need hours. Like, I know my sister used to do Big Brother, Big Sister a lot, and I think you could still get hours from that if that's still a requirement to graduate with your high school diploma. Joining Big Brothers, Big Sisters, or Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts is good. Adopting a family. My family I think they just started this last year, but they could have done it the year before, but I didn't see them for Christmas. but they basically adopted a family. They found a family. I don't know if it's through a foundation or through a program, but they found a family that was in need. And so the best way we did to help them is to give back. We bought book bags and clothes and food and just help their family to get the things and the necessities that they need. And so that's a good way to love a family member, even if they're not physically or, by birth or by blood, your family. Another thing is, of course, reaching out to a church member. If you know there's somebody in church who is always to themselves, they come to the back of the church, write out their little notes, pray, whatever, and then leave. Maybe catch them before they go and reach out to them, go get a coffee. Mentor a lost teen. It's a lot of teens out there that need mentorship, that needs a motherly figure or fatherly figure, especially if you're a coach in some type of sports, or if you are a businessman and you see a lot of guys who are going straight to the streets and not to the books and to education and stuff like that. You want to help them, like going out there to the streets and speaking to the men and mentoring them. Or just like, say, if you never had a sibling before, or you have many siblings and you see this one kid or one person at your school or whatever who's very younger than you and they never had a sibling, they don't have sisters or brothers, you go and help them, teach them how to do their makeup, teach them how to do their hair, give them that sister or brotherly advice and mentorship that they might need. Doing a food pantry, which is always good to do. A lot of people think that you should just do it for when it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, but you should do it all year round, because people are hungry all year round. People are homeless all year round. And then another thing is, feeding a starving family, giving back to your local homeless shelter, because like I said, they're not just homeless when it's wintertime or when it's this Christmas or Thanksgiving. People are homeless all year round. So giving back, that's a good way to kind of advance your knowledge and family when it comes to the 4Fs. And then the last one, which is going to have all of us in a chokehold, because I know there's a lot of people who's watching right now, including myself, who is not the best in their finances. But finances, the fourth F, one of the most important Fs. Okay. Definition of finance is defined as the management of money, and it includes activities such as investing, borrowing, lending, budgeting, saving, and forecasting. So in the Bible, it says in Matthew 6, verse 2, when you give someone in need, don't do as the hypocrites do, blowing trumpets in the synagogue and streets to call attention to their acts of charity. I tell you the truth. They have received all the reward they will ever get. Give your gifts in private, and your Father, God, who sees everything, will reward you. So it talks about, when it comes to finance, giving. Even if you don't have anything can be giving. It's not just money. It's not just cash. It's not just, the dinero. Sometimes giving financially is, say if you have a friend that has nowhere to stay and you live in a 4 or 5 bedroom house, allowing them to stay a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever you are willing to give, so that they can get themselves in the right direction. Or even if you do have money, giving someone maybe a gift card because they never have lunch, when you're like your coworker never has lunch, he or she is always hungry. You give them a gift card that lasts them for a couple of days to eat for lunch for at the job. Or if you have a friend or a family member who don't have a car and can't really get around, you help them. You bring your car over and drive them to go to grocery shopping, to go to get this and go get that, so they have everything they need. That's another way to help. And that's sometimes what God needs you to do to elevate the success in your finances. But not only that, it also talks more about biblical financial stewardship and how you must be responsible and have faithful management of the financial resources God has given you. Now, one thing for sure that I read in the Bible is that God, I'm not going to say he hates, but he can't stand financial ignorance, because the devil has a chokehold on a lot of American people when it comes to being responsible and when it comes to being faithful in your finance management, keeping your money tight, keeping yourself out of the bracket of working check to check, saving your money, budgeting right. And I'm speaking to myself because I suck so bad in budgeting. I suck so bad in saving money. And a lot of it has to do with maybe just me not being taught how to save in the beginning, early years of like me being a kid. Because I mean, my family, my parents, that wasn't their, I'm not gonna say that wasn't what they were worried about, but they were just allowing us to be kids. They didn't teach us about much about bills and how to save money because, like just be a kid, get good grades, graduate from school, and then maybe we could talk about that. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. But still, that was their main focus. But in the Bible, it tells us that we have to be responsible because if we put ourselves in a situation where we don't have money and an emergency comes and we don't have money to get out of that emergency, sometimes the emergency can result in being permanent, and we don't want that. So the best way to work on your finances is by budgeting, it's by saving, sometimes borrowing, it's about investing. Sometimes we don't want to invest in something because it costs too much and we know that we don't have all the money in the world, but sometimes that investment can turn into something that elevates and basically multiplies in your funds and your income or whatever it is, and it can bring you more money in the end. Like, for example, say if you want to invest in a business opportunity for yourself, and it's going to take majority of your money, but the factual results after you sell that product or after you do that service, you're going to make 10 times than what you put in, then take that risk and invest. But if you know that investing in something and you're not going to make anywhere close to how much you put in, sometimes you have to borrow money, or sometimes you have to budget your money, or sometimes you have to save your money. Okay. But what we don't want to do is suffer from financial blindness. So if you have to go and get a financial agent to help you to learn how to budget, like in Dallas, they have so many free classes, and I can list them below if you guys are interested. They have so many free classes where you can come to a local library and one of those financial agents will come and teach you how to budget, teach you how to save. Like my local library where I live, they have it every Thursday or every other Thursday of the month. And they teach you about finances. They teach you about managing your money, managing your time, managing your skills, and how all of that plays together. And so looking that up on Google or whatever, or if you still have TikTok to find things to help you to manage your money right, it's going to be your best friend. These 4 F's are very, very important. Okay, your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, all of that is important. I feel like once you get obsessed with this structure, you will wake up feeling different. You will look different. You will glow different. Your success will come faster. And, slow and steady wins the race. I do believe in that because sometimes going too fast, you might miss your mark. But this, I feel like, is definitely, and this is something that I've been working on for some years now. And I will say I am way better than how I used to be by actually following this like structure. And my 2025 is already looking good. And I rebuke anything negative against my 2025, but putting your family first, putting God first, putting your faith first, putting your fitness and your finance first, I promise you, your 2025 is going to be way better than your 2024, and so on. So I hope you guys love this video. I hope that this helps you guys to see that there's other roads that you can take to have a really good, successful 2025. I hope that you were able to write down any information. And if you have any questions, of course, comment below. Don't forget to comment below anybody that you consider as a friend or a family. Also comment below which out of the 4 F's is your favorite. A lot of people might say finance, and a lot of people might say fitness. But, taking care of your family is important as well, and having strong faith is the only way to get through life. I promise you, if you don't believe in nothing, then that's just a very empty black void that's just not fun to live in. And if that's cool with you, then go ahead. I'm here is to tell you what worked for me. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for supporting me each and every episode that I post every other Friday. I just want to show my gratitude to you guys. It's because of y'all that I'm glowing different, that I am, finding different topics that I didn't even know was important until now. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm giving my flowers to you guys. You guys are my family as well. And I'm just super excited to continue this 2025 with y'all, to see 2025 with y'all, and to talk about different topics. These next couple of episodes are going to be the breakdown of the 4Fs. So if you really want a more detailed video each episode of these specific 4Fs, please stick around, because the next episode is going to be about faith. The next episode about that is going to be fitness, and so on and so forth, until we get to the end of this chapter. Not this season, because the season is going to continue for a little bit longer, but the next couple of episodes are going to be based off the 4Fs, so that we can have it more detailed, so that we can write down more stuff, jot down more information. So if you're not following, follow us on Instagram at Better My Blueprint. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Better My Blueprint Podcast. Follow us and download each and every episode, so that we can be on your favorite playlist on Spotify. And I will see you guys in the next episode, where we talk about faith. Love you guys. Bye.